There's only one thing that matters. Only one thing in life. One thing. And that is to show up, to create videos, to do something on your own. And you might think that yet you have no talent at all, that you're not able to do anything to inspire anyone, to be good at something. But are all of these stops are self-induced because of another important thing. And that important thing is that you still watch, that you still consume. Do you understand? The thing you're doing right now is not constructive. It's not helping you in any kind of way. If you continue on consuming, you will never be the person you want. You forever will be the consumer that is behind anything, that still can't conceptuate. You can't perceptuate. You can't percept the world with your own thoughts. You do not engage in this world with your own thoughts. You do not actively engage in this world on a participating way, on a way that you participate in events, for example. There are so many possibilities, and these possibilities do, and this large number does more harm than good. You are completely, you are completely on overdrive. You cannot understand this large amount of possibilities which are out there. There's so much information on the internet that you always feel like a loser. You always feel completely overwhelmed, and you cannot channel, you cannot redirect energy on the right way if you do not have a system which you build your life on that actually creates some kind of output. And there are many people out there who say that you need a product, or a lot of friends of mine who are interested in overcoming themselves, which hinder themselves by the fact that they still not have a product up for sale. And this is their excuse that they still not create videos and create any kind of output, create any kind of thing, craft any kind of thing. And I think this is the most important part. You do not need you don't need a product. It could be a much more abstract product. For example, even your advices, even your thoughts are in itself an abstract product. And everything you create, and you might think that what you create is worth nothing. And that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. In this world, we have a lot of information, and this information needs to be channeled. This large information is so overwhelming for so many people that we need a channel. And this is a channel for information. And other people will go on your channel. And there's even another term, which is a funnel. And a funnel or a channel is almost the same. And there are people on the internet, on social media, which explicitly, which they might not know, but they search for these channels of energy, of information, because they themselves are so overwhelmed, and they search for a person or a channel who can redirect information in a way that they can understand better, that they consume it better. But the consumption itself is destructive. Even if you provide information that might simplify a large number of information and synthesize it on YouTube or on any other social media platform, this might be an advantage for another person. But ultimately, you should always only produce this kind of channel of canalizing information. So information in the sense of every kind, every form. What, like for example, text, or on YouTube, for example, you have videos, you have reels, right? You have live streams. There, the way how information is transferred from one place to another, from one person to another, is diversifying. And there are many methods and many formats of information which are reproduced, which are newly produced and are reproduced and reconfigured in a new kind of way. So this means that everyone is able to do videos even without consuming, because the information which you have consumed in the last 10 years might be so immensely big, so you consumed so much more information than any other previous generation which came before us, without any doubt. This large amount of information is only flourishing throughout this whole world, throughout this planet, because of the internet. And the internet is not here since 1000 years, right? Our generation and the generation before us are confronted with this large amount of information, and we need to find a way to overcome this coma which we are in when we're confronted with this large amount of information. Because a lot of people will not be able to overcome themselves in a way that they start to produce some kind of output. And this kind of output is so tremendously important for your life, because it reflects your inner thoughts. It's also a way of processing with this information. Look, so again, we in our brain have a lot of information because of the past 10 years which we dedicated to disperse ourselves with this large amount of information which were created. So the most important step for every young adult, for everyone who is a minor, who's growing up in this social media world, is to make a use of this information and try to channel it in a way that either could produce a new kind of idea which was never there before, or just channelize. And this is also a very important task, that you are channelizing the information which were transplanted into your brain the past 10 years. And I definitely think there's material inside your brain for 100 videos. And I tell you, these 100 videos will not end up unwatched, will not end up without anyone listening to them. These are important information which will transfer our humanity onto the next stage. But we simply cannot deny the fact, we simply cannot continuing on eating more information, on eating and eating and eating and eating, because this will not only destroy your brain, it will destroy your complete life, your complete mental health. If you are unable to channelize this energy and to channelize this information, this is very important. This is for everyone. This is not only for minors. This is not only for teenagers. This is for everyone who's in this world right now. I can see it by my parents directly. I can see it by my neighbors, by my friends. Everyone is suffering from the same kind of illness, where they continuing on consuming, even though they have enough information inside of them, and still simply no motivation to use this and go out and do something with it. Do something with this information. You have enough information, and you wouldn't even need of this information, because our improvisation, our intuition is a skill enough, is in itself enough to produce output. I think this was a crucial message that I wanted to spread out into this world of social media, because when I publish a video, and when you publish a video, anyone on this world could see those videos. And this is a really interesting transformation or change, really interesting change in our society and how the world will function in the future. Because your words could have much more power than you think, not only in a positive way, but also in a negative way. But if we want to change something in this world, we not only must believe in ourselves. This is one of the most important steps also to create positive output. But because if you do not believe in yourself, and you do not have any kind of positive feedback with yourself, this will also redirect on other people's behavior. Like, negative thoughts about yourself will also reproduce negative thoughts about others, or others reproducing themselves, like coming themselves in a cycle, or get influenced by your negative thoughts. Positive thoughts will produce more positive thoughts. And this seems way too easy. This seems way too, this seems made too easy, right? This doesn't have any kind of new realization. You maybe heard this a lot of times, and it's too abstract to actually think of an actual step. But this is also influencing the amount of work that you will be able to do, because there are dubs fighting against you. There are dubs fighting against you right now. There are dubs fighting against you if you want to do your first video. So you have to be patient. You have to be aware that your first video needs to be the easiest thing in the world, because the amount of work that needs to be done in order to produce a video is so minor, is so less, that I don't need to have a lot of motivation. I can, with a little kind of good mood, with a little a little bit of a good mood, I can simply sit down and spread my words. This is a really effective way of producing output. And still there are doubts about the quality of the about the devices that I give. Doubts are always part of our life. We can fight these doubts with a really easy schedule with producing any kind of output. And the first video you will do will be such an amazing feeling, and such a good mood will spread up inside of you because you actually did something, you actually produced something in this large number, even though there's a large number of distractions inside of this world, inside of your brain. Like, not only inside of your brain, there's also distraction in the outer world, in the whole universe. There are distractions. And therefore, you can be proud of yourself. You can be proud. And this proudness, this feeling, will develop. And you can build upon this feeling. And you can build and build and build and build. And the more you will build, the easier it gets. And this is life, and this is how you can escape the rut. And I hope, and I really, really hope that you could use the energy that I wanted to give out to produce your own videos and find a way of channelizing your energy, because you have so much potential, and the energy inside of you, it must find a way to get out and find a way of this energy. Do not let it left behind. It would be unfortunate, really unfortunate for everyone, because you could be the next person someone else is searching for, someone else is resonating a lot, because not everyone is the same. There's many kind of personalities which will resonate much more to you than other people that you are currently looking up to. Maybe you have 10, 20 persons which you look up to because you think, damn, whatever these people produce, I will never be able to do this. I will never be able to create such a large number of members of community, of persons, of people on the world who look up to me. But you will be able to find people in this world, like, we are billions, and you will definitely be able to find another human who looked for you to tell him what to do next. Because not everyone is here to live alone, is here on this earth to suffer alone from his depressions, from his doubts, from his negative thoughts. No, we live together. And even though it seems so isolating today, we connected even more with each other. Everyone with each other is connected. So you can be a part of all of this development, and not like hide from it, hiding from yourself, hiding from the world. Always push your pain. Peace, bro.